Now this is a biker bar.
Welcome to Kickstands Up Radio, the podcast where we discuss all things motorcycles, from the latest gear to the best routes for your group ride. Here's your host, the Harley hooligan, rebel rider Tony P, and he's here to rev up your engines and tickle your funny bone. So grab a cold one, pull up a leather seat, and let's ride into the hilarious world of biker culture. Just remember, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much room in the garage.
Excuse me, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Thank you very much for tuning in to Kickstands Up Radio. I am your host, the Rebel Rider, Tony P, and my co-host in the window right next, let's see if I can get my fingers here right next to me, Florida Jim. How you doing, buddy?
Going pretty good. How are you, man?
Doing great. Well, listen, hey, I'm so excited for this episode, and I really am. I've got a lot of great things to cover. I'm really hitting with, I have a top 10 list that I think all of our viewers and our listeners.
Trademarked. But what are they going to say? It's in my skin, bitch.
Okay.
I'm going to be, no, you're fine. I'm going to be covering the top 10 list, and this top 10 is going to be top 10 American Grand Touring Class motorcycles. Now, what I was really surprised about on this list, Jim, was not all of the bikes are American made. But on the same token, I do want to say that even the Kawasaki, Yamaha, we think of them as Jap bikes or Chinese-made bikes, whatever, but they're still made in the U.S. 90% of them are nowadays.
Yeah, I think Yamaha has one of their biggest manufacturing plants somewhere in the United States. I'm not sure exactly where, but I do know that a lot of their individual parts and whatnot come from American parts manufacturers, and they import them in to their assembly plant.
Right, exactly. They're not 100% made in the U.S., but hey, what is exactly?
Is Harley? No, Harley is not.
Yeah, yep.
And I know this for a fact because many years ago, when I still lived in Illinois, I drove a truck for a little die-cast company. And our biggest customer, believe it or not, back then was Harley-Davidson in Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. What we made for them was the little tin piece that goes around where you turn your power on for your bike, where your key, the switch, the power switch, where you go from lock to power to accessory. We made that little tin. That's all we made there. Mm-hmm. We didn't even put printing on it, okay? Mm-hmm. We would send out about 30,000 of these things every week. Sometimes they would call us and say, we need them so bad, I would have to drive a load up there.
Oh,
now,
shit.
We lost that contract, and we lost that contract to a Japanese company that, according to our owner of our company, said that they undercut him by almost 2.5 cents on their product with the same quality. He was making, each one of those was costing him personally, his business was costing him 5.5 cents. And these guys came in and undercut it by 2.5.
Holy shit. Wow.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing. And I'm sure we're going to get a lot of emails on this. And now, Jim, I don't know if you can see it or not, but on the bottom of our screen right down here, right in there.
Chat box.
Yep. Not just our chat box, but I've got our email on there so that we're going to get emails. So anybody that comes across, they're going to see that they can certainly send us an email. And I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of feedback on this next comment. But just like you, I was at a rally one time back in, I want to say 2012, back home in Missouri. And it was the Galloping Goose. Now, they're a big group back home, they're one of the biggest outlaw groups that occupied Missouri at the time. I had a big group of guys I was talking to one time, big burly bikers. Dude, I'm 5'6" on a good day, okay? I'm 5'6" on a good day. I walked over to these guys and imagine a guy 5'6" riding up on a Yamaha V-Star XVS 1100 at a Galloping Goose rally. Okay, I got at this rally, and this guy, this big old dude. I mean, he was every bit of 6 foot tall, if not taller. He looked at me and he started laughing. And he goes, "Why did you bring a Yamaha to a rally like this?" I said, "Man,"
Yeah, really.
I said, "honestly," I said, I'm not a badass dude, I'm not trying to start nothing, but my bike is almost just as American made as yours." He goes, "Well, I ride a Harley. It's made in America." I said, "Listen, guy," I said, "I hate to burst your bubble." I said, "But that bike was not 100% American made." I said, "I can come over to it and point out a part or two that is made in China, Japan, Korea, somewhere." He goes, "Oh, bullshit." So I went off over to it and I pointed to it. He goes, "Oh, you're full of shit." I said, "Do the research. That's all you got to do."
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's anything that says it's made in America, there is at least one little component to that overall thing that is not made here.
Yep.
We don't do manufacturing like that anymore in this country.
No, we don't.
We live in a country of farming it out, farm it out.
Yep.
And I think that's the biggest downfall with our country right now, amongst other things. But, and it's even affecting the motorcycle world. Look at Harley in a whole right now. They seem to be falling back into the AMF bowling pin era.
Yep.
Where they just don't care. If I'm not mistaken, there's nobody on the board anymore from the Davidsons or the Harleys.
Oh, no. Actually, the CEO right now, he's a guy that lives he lived in Norway or some shit like that. I'm not sure. But he's the CEO of Harley. I mean, come on.
Look at Harley's core demographic, which is guys like me and you.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm 61.
Yep.
Okay. I know maybe if I'm lucky and I stay in good health and I keep going to the gym, I can ride my motorcycle for another 15 years or so. And after that, what am I going to do? I'm not going to be able to ride unless I buy a trike. There's going to come a time even when I can't get on that trike.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Now I'm a dead customer to Harley.
Yep.
Because if they can't get me in the showroom within the next 5 years to buy a big bike like I like my classic, my ultra classic, they're never going to keep me.
Yep.
They're going to lose me. So I'm gonna wait outside of their demographic right now. I'm in it, but I'm out of it because I already have a Harley. They're trying to catch with their new stuff. They're trying to catch all these kids and all these young guys in their 20s and 30s who think Harleys are not cool.
Yep.
They do not like them.
I'll tell you, the one thing that I really do not like the direction that Harley is going with is the live wire. I think that's the name of it, the electric one.
It's ridiculous.
No, it doesn't make any sense to me. Come on.
It's ridiculous. You know what? It's like listening to a Goldwing go down the road, quiet as a mouse.
Yeah.
That's all you hear.
Yep.
What was that? Can't hear anything. What was that? Oh, it was either a Goldwing or a live wire.
Or a mosquito. But let's get started on this top 10 because I think this top 10,
right.
I think it's got some interesting bikes. I really think that that I think it's going to be very compelling. Okay.
Okay. Let's get it.
So with first off on the top 10, what we have listed is the Moto Guzzi. Okay, that Moto Guzzi. Let's see if I can pull this up here. Okay. There we go. I got the picture of the Moto Guzzi online there. Now, the Moto Guzzi, it's a little bit different. It's something a little bit different to start with. But it's got a transverse V-twin engine. To me, I mean, I haven't had a whole lot of experience with the Moto Guzzis.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I don't know about you. Have you heard of anything or?
No, I've never been on a Moto Guzzi in my life. I did have a friend of mine when I was growing up in the 70s in Illinois. Mm-hmm. His grandfather had one that he really loved, and he said he loved it because when he was in the war, he bought a Moto Guzzi where he was stationed to get around it. He said he loved it. He wanted one when he came back. So apparently he found.
You know, I mean, these things, they weigh in, from what I understand, right at about 742 pounds.
It's a light bike for a cruiser.
Exactly. 88 foot-pounds of torque, 95 horsepower in a 1,380 cc engine.
Ooh, 1,400, big bike.
Yeah. So 742 pounds. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that's dry weight. Correct me if I'm wrong, you know.
It's got to be. It's got to be.
But
they like to bring out that dry weight before they'll tell you what it weighs wet.
Exactly.
And I don't understand why.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because I mean,
that's like answering a date online, and the girl says, "Well, I normally weigh 120, but after a meal, I weigh 122." Who the fuck cares what you weigh as long as you're good looking?
But that's our number 10. That's number 10. That's what started
number
this
10,
list
the
up.
Moto Guzzi 1400. Nice bike, but little out of my price range, and something that I will never, ever see myself on.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like number 9 and number 8. I'll never see one of them either. So
well, number 9, and I'm glad you brought that up. That's the BMW R18.
A yuppie bike.
Yep. And, you know, I never was a huge fan of the BMW bikes. I don't like the way that rear wheel is set up. I just never have been a huge fan of them. You know,
you know who was on BMW R18s? You know who those people are?
Oh, those are
the people that you see on the adventure bikes now.
Yeah, and I'm telling you what, I don't know what the hell it is. Why? And maybe, okay, BMW riders, if you are watching this podcast, if you're listening to this podcast, please tell me why in the hell every single one of you BMW riders got to get clothes that match your bikes. I don't understand.
They remind me of the guys you see on the bicycles on Saturday and Sunday morning, the bicycle riders.
Oh, God, yes.
And they've got those helmets on that make their head look like a giant sperm going down the road. And they're wearing tight-ass clothing. And these guys got pot bellies, and they look like they're carrying a baby underneath them when they're riding. Yeah, and BMW guys are the same way. They get the fancy clothes that the color match the bike, and it's like, oh, come on, man!
Exactly.
When you're riding a bike, when you're riding a cruiser, there's only one color that should go with that son of a bitch, and that's black.
Now, this son of a gun, I'm telling you what, this R18, it's a heavy damn bike.
Yeah, they are very heavy.
Yeah, 941 pounds.
Ooh, that's rivaling my Harley.
Yeah, exactly. And this is an 1800cc boxer engine. Okay?
That's a big engine.
Yeah, that's a huge engine. And I think that's where a lot of that weight comes in.
It is.
But, yeah, I mean, with that particular bike, I mean, again, I'm just not a BMW person, you know?
No. Well, back in the 80s, I worked at a place, and one of the guys that I worked with drove a BMW. He was an African-American gentleman, nicest guy in the world. And I said to him one day, I said, I noticed you're driving a BMW. And he goes, oh, yeah. He says, it's even initialed. And I said, it's initialed? And he goes, yeah, BMW. I said, well, your name's doesn't start with a B, and your last name doesn't end with a W. And he goes, no, BMW, Black Man's Wish. But I said, are you serious? He goes, yeah. He says, man, this is my dream car. And he loved that thing. And it was an older model. It was probably 15 years old when he got it. Yeah. It was beautiful.
You know, and if you
the motorcycle
really
or the car is just not for me. It's just not my thing. I'm not into that.
Yep. You know, Germans, I mean, they're high priced whenever it comes to this type of equipment. They really are. You know.
Yeah.
And that's going to bring us right into our number 8. Our number 8 is the BMW. What is it? The K1600. BMW K1600. Now, again, you know, I'm not a BMW person, you know, but I mean, it's, again, this is another huge bike, 160 horsepower, 129 foot-pounds of torque on this bad boy.
Wow.
Yeah. And they call this the Grand American. It's the BMW K1600 Grand American.
That sounds like a nice bike. I'm not familiar with them. I've seen them before, especially down here in Florida. You don't see a lot of them.
Yeah.
You know, I would have to say Harley is primarily the bikes that I see out here in mid-central Florida. But I have run across a couple of guys on the BMW K16s. They look comfortable. The wives or girlfriends on the back seem to be extremely happy with the way they ride, because if you're married or you have a girlfriend and you ride and you don't have a proper back seat, you are going to hear about it to the point where you change that back seat out.
Absolutely.
Guaranteed.
You either change out that back seat or you change out your motorcycle. You know,
or you get divorced.
Exactly. I've been married for 22, 23 years now. And I'm telling you what, my last bike that I had before I got my Ultra Classic was a XVS 1100 Custom. And it was the Yamaha V-Star. For those that don't know. And I'm telling you what, that was absolutely gorgeous bike. I love the ride of it. You know, very little maintenance I've ever had to do to that damn thing. But my wife absolutely hated riding on the back of it because it had that narrow seat.
Well, you had what was your model?
It was the Custom. XVS 1100 Custom.
Okay. I had the same bike, but I had the Classic, which is Harley-esque in the way it looks.
Yeah. Yep.
And the girl that I was with at the time, because this was back in 2001, the girl I was with, she was kind of one of those girls that you could say she kind of had, she didn't have an apple bottom. She had the whole orchard. Okay? She was a great girl right up to the point she lost her mind and went completely insane crazy on me. But prior to that, she was great. She liked riding with me.
Yeah.
But the stock seat on the Yamaha back in them days was made out of a combination of hardwood, cement, and anything else that could have just bruised your ass going down the road.
Damn straight, there was everything but cotton on that sumbitch.
Yeah. So I changed mine out. What I did is I changed mine out for a Mustang seat.
Nice.
And that was expensive. That was $600.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I mean, you get what you pay for, though.
Yeah, you did. I didn't know it though.
Yeah.
You
get what you
pay for. And I'm thinking
for.
$600 for the seat. Now I remember I put it on the bike the first day we got on it. We got off at the next stop, maybe 30, 40 miles down the road. I looked at her and I said, "So is your ass fucking happy now?" She just looked at me. "Well, do you want me to come with you? If I don't enjoy myself, I can't come with you." Then I thought, why did I buy that seat?
Exactly. Exactly.
But then, you know, as well as I do, and any guy out here listening or watching this podcast and videocast, you know, if you ride and you have a woman in your life or have had a woman in your life, and this woman does not like your motorcycle, chances are you will not be with her very long, or you are going to live a very unhappy life, because she's going to rag the shit out of you every goddamn minute you walk out the door and jump on it.
Yep, exactly.
I've been through it.
Exactly.
I've been through it. That's why I love my wife, Lisa. I've been with her for 15 years. We met through a mutual friend of mine that she was dating at the time. Then, of course, she got a good look at what was available. And she said, "I got to go that way." So, no, we got married. We met 2 years later. We were married. We came down to Florida to get married. We still lived in Illinois. We came down to Florida, and the wedding went off with a hitch. And I remember she woke up the next morning and she said, "Why do I have a hangover and why do I have a wedding ring on?" And I said, I'll explain it to you later.
Yep, I'll explain it to you later, Mrs. Jim.
Yes, but Lisa loves motorcycles. My wife actually wants her own motorcycle. She already has her endorsement. She's already gone through the safety course twice. She knows what she's talking about. But the problem is, my wife is not stingy, but she's too damn frugal sometimes.
Yep. Oh, I got you there.
A quick example of how frugal she is and how she's a research queen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she loves research. Our first year, we decided that we were going to start spending our anniversary. Well, we were going to get married in Florida. This is the first time, big vacation for both of us. We planned it. We're going to Florida. We're going to we're going to the other side. Actually, we started going over there to Cocoa Beach. We had 6 months before we were going to go. And every month, she was rearranging something, rearranging the car, rearranging the flights. And I said, why are you doing this? Oh, well, if I cancel out these tickets, I get the same tickets on the same plane at the same time, everything else, but for $10 less. Okay. She would do this. She did this for 6 months before we left. And that's when I realized my job in this marriage is to just look at her and go, where do I stand? Where do I have to be? And what do you need me to say?
Yep, exactly.
And well, I have a few friends of mine, I'm doing quickly. I have friends of mine that tease me because my wife takes care of the bills. Okay, here's why.
Yep.
She is a graduate from Northwestern College up in Evanston, Illinois, top 10 school. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a degree in business management and business accounting. I have a CDL.
Yep.
Who do you think is better off?
Hey, I'm the same way. I'll tell you what, I'd much rather have my wife take care of the bills, which she does. And my wife, Nikki, she's phenomenal at it. She can manage the bills like there's no tomorrow. She'll cuss all day long doing it, but she'll do it. And I'd rather her do it than me any day of the week. But let's get on. We got to get moving with this.
We got to get out. We're on number 5.
We're on number 5 already?
Number 5 in the top 10 bikes.
No, we're at number 7.
We're set. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, I'm jumping ahead. Woo.
Yeah, we're at number 7. Number 7.
My wife always did say I like to finish everything early. So.
And number 7 is the Honda Goldwing. Okay. The old man's bike.
The old man bike.
Yep. Now, I'll tell you, as much as it pains me to say it, I really do like the Honda Goldwings. I don't like how quiet they are, but man, I'm telling you, these things are decked out with everything.
They have everything. I mean, my God, it's like a car without doors.
Yep. And the one that made this list, our number 7 here, is a 1833cc flat 6 engine with the optional DCT transmission.
Yes, the DCT transmission, which is absolutely one of the greatest inventions that has ever come down the line for motorcycles.
Yeah.
And I know this for a fact because my wife is looking at a Honda Rebel 1100 or 500.
Yep.
And she wants the one with the DCT because, I mean, come on. If you're not that sure, you're not that steady yet, having to take away the shifting abilities of the motorcycle is going to make you so much more confident until you get to that point where you can start using that left foot and shifting through the gears and knowing right where you're at just by your RPMs and everything.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll tell you, I really like these. I like the looks of them. I like the style of them. Some people are, they're either with it or they're not.
Yeah. The Goldwing, like you said, style, convenience, the way the bike rides, the everything about them is just absolutely phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I actually almost bought an old 86 Goldwing many years back. I'm kind of glad I didn't. But like you said, the thing I don't like about them is how quiet they are. And there's not a lot of places that want to change out the mufflers on them for you.
No, there's not a whole lot that you can. There's not honestly a whole lot that you can do with the exhaust on them. No. I mean, once you upgrade the exhaust, you got to upgrade the carburetor, everything else, and that's exactly where they get into. I don't want to touch it.
Well, I was at Crystal River Harley a few years back. And there was a guy in there trading in his fairly new Harley, maybe a year or 2 years old, for a used Goldwing that was sitting out front. And his reasoning for trading in the Harley and getting the Goldwing is because his wife didn't like how loud the Harley was and it gave her headaches.
The louder, the better for me.
Oh, God, yes. My neighbors hate me because they can hear me 3 blocks away before I pull up.
Oh,
If
yeah.
it's not from the music, it's from the pipes. You know, I'm very loud, and I'm very, very noticeable when I'm on the road.
You know what?
I
That
don't
brings
like
up a
to
really
blend
good
in.
point. Yeah, and that brings up a really good thing that I'd like to cover on another podcast, of course. But music on your bikes. I love listening to music on my bikes.
Yes.
You know, there's others that just don't. You know.
Yeah. I rode many, many years without having a radio.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually bring a small radio with me, headphones, and try that. That felt very scary to me because I can't hear what's going on around me.
Exactly.
I need to know what's going on around me. I need to have that audio sense, that's there.
Yeah.
And then when I got my last bike, my Yamaha, I put a stereo system on it.
Mm-hmm.
But that was back in the early 2000s, and they weren't that great.
Yeah. Well, I did the same thing. My
and it
V-Star.
sounded very tinny. It
Yeah.
sounded very tinny and very nasty, and I didn't like it. But now with my Harley, I have that stock, Harman Kardon system that they put in.
Yeah. Yep.
And I don't know what kind of wattage they're running in them things, but I have absolutely zero problem hearing my stereo going down the road at any speed.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
Even my wife can hear the back speakers when she's on the back.
I was the same way whenever I had my V-Star. I put an audio system on that because I enjoy listening to music while I'm riding. I had a Boss Audio, what was it, an 800-watt amp, and then 2 4-inch speakers. And for our viewers and our listeners, if you go into our Patreon page, and if you subscribe to our Patreon page, you will see the video that I have on there of that V-Star with that Boss audio system. It sounded incredible. I loved it. You know, I really did.
Well, I'm happy with my. What's funny about my stereo? I bought my bike used. Mine's a 2013 Ultra Classic Limited. Mm-hmm. And when I first bought the bike, one of the speakers was broken.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, God, I got to replace a speaker. I didn't want to do the deal over a speaker, which was stupid. But the guy said to me, he goes, you know what? He said, let's take it back and let the mechanic look at it. The mechanic was back there. He looked at me. He goes, you know what? He says, here's what the deal is. He said, this speaker's not actually broken. He says, it just looks this way because of this and that.
Mm-hmm.
So he taps around a little bit, takes the grill off, and he looks at it, and he goes, okay, look. And he showed me, and like he said, it wasn't really broken. So I said, don't fix it. The damn thing is working still to this day fine. It's absolutely fine. There's no problem with my stereo system.
Yours is a 13?
I'm sorry?
You said yours is a 13?
Yeah, 2013 Ultra Classic Limited.
Yep. I have the 07. I bought mine used as well. 07 Ultra Classic Electric Glide. And I'm telling you what, hands down, one of the best investments I ever made. And I stole this son of a bitch. I mean, this bike, I got such a great deal. And I bought it from a guy up north. He was in, not Crystal River, but close by.
Homosassa Springs?
Homosassa.
Homosassa, sorry.
Yep, Homosassa.
Homosassa.
Exactly. And I'm telling you what, this thing had 30,000 miles on it whenever I bought it. And I bought it 3 years ago, 2 years ago. I don't put a whole lot of miles on it. I get out and I do a lot of riding, but I don't go like super far. I haven't really taken many long trips on it. Like I said, I've only had it for a few years.
You got to go down Powell Road. Have you been down Powell Road?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then you know that area over there by Dade City and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Beautiful riding.
Oh,
Beautiful.
God, yes. Absolutely gorgeous riding. We go, a lot of the rides that we take, I like going out 52, heading out towards
Bellamy Brothers
Boulevard and going up north that way. Oh, you know that ride.
Yeah.
You know that ride coming out there by Crystal River?
I haven't been out there in a long time. We need to go for a ride, just me and you out there.
Oh, hell yeah.
Just, and, record a few things or stuff, throw them on the website, whatnot.
Oh, listen, I'll tell you what. I've been doing a lot of trip recordings. I actually have this here, which is the GoPro Max 360. It's a 360 camera. I'm telling you what, one of the best investments. This is not sponsored by GoPro, but GoPro, if you do want to sponsor me, You got our email right down below.
Speaking of sponsors, I might actually have a sponsor for us.
Oh! Share it with me as soon as we get done with this top 10.
Okay.
Because I do have to do a commercial break.
It's not one of the best endorsements there is because it's not motorcycle related, but this is what she does. This is what she makes. Kristabellscandles.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that list I saw that post that you made on Facebook with those.
Yes,
so
if you guys are watching, Kristabellscandles, give this girl a call. Give her a call. Let her know that you saw us out here. All right.
Absolutely. Do you got her email? Do you have her email or her contact info?
I'm sorry?
Do you have her email or her contact info?
Yeah, the email for any orders is right here. Kristabell's right here at the bottom.
Okay. All right, guys, if you can see that, definitely get those candles. Get that list,
Yes. Oh, here.
Let's get her some orders.
And anybody who has a Harley, hang on.
And while he's doing that, as soon as we break from this top 10, we're going to talk more about our sponsors because I got another sponsor that we have to mention to get that business going. Also, I got to give him some cred.
Now look, I bought these for my wife. This is what she sells. Also, these are candle melts.
Oh, nice. For
the little dog paw,
the wax ones.
Now, yeah, they're all wax.
Yep.
But what she does is she sends them in a little container like this with her address right on the top there.
Nice.
Oops, sorry. Anybody wants to give her a buzz? These are $8 and $10. She's got a whole website out there. Give her a call. Throw her a little business this way so she'll sponsor us a little bit better.
Absolutely. Now, we're going to go on to number 6 on our list here. Our number 6 bike, it is... Dun, dun, dun. That's the Yamaha Star Venture. Speaking of Yamahas.
Yes, that's another big one.
Oh my God, I love these bikes. I really do.
Yes.
I'm a huge Yamaha fan. I'm not going to say I'm as big of a Yamaha fan as I am a Harley fan, but I like them a lot. I really think they're great bikes.
Well, I had Yamahas before I had my Harley.
Yep.
So, like I said earlier, I had the 1100 Classic.
Yep.
Which I decked it out to look like a Harley. Never had a problem with that. Once they seal that damn engine up at the factory, you never have to break that thing open for anything except for oil changes and brake fluid and whatnot.
Exactly.
I had my bike for 2 years. I never had to do a damn thing to it.
Yep. Well,
just unbelievably reliable, beautiful bike. I put Vance and Hines shotguns, low-ride shotguns on it.
Yep.
Completely baffleless. It was just incredible. Beautiful bikes. Yamaha, I would definitely buy another Yamaha any day of the week if I had to.
Absolutely. And this one here that made our list, I mean, this one is, it was modeled after the Road Glide Limited. There's a few things that they've done to it that kind of replicated it, but this thing weighed in at a whopping 957 pounds.
Again, almost right up there with the Harleys.
Yeah, exactly. 1854, it's air-cooled V-twin engine, 85 horsepower, 126 foot-pounds of torque. So, performance, nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing to be ashamed of at all.
And doesn't that bike also come with a selector switch of some nature, or is that the Goldwing that allows you to select the terrain that you're on?
I don't know about this one.
I think it's the Goldwing. I think that's what I'm thinking about is the Goldwing.
It very well could be. And any of our viewers, if you know the answer, let us know. We'd love to know. We'd love to know that.
So what are we at, number 5?
We are on number 5 now. Our number 5 is the Kawasaki Voyager, Vulcan Voyager. There we go.
Very good bike. Came out in the late 80s.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, great bike. I mean, these things are just as good. They rank up there along with the Yamahas, all in itself.
You still see a few of them on the road.
Yeah, you do.
From the 80s.
Yeah. And I have actually a buddy of mine that owns a Vulcan. It's not the Vulcan Voyager, but he absolutely loves it. He swears by it. I don't think he's even riding it anymore, unfortunately. Health conditions, reasons, But other than that, I mean, great bike though. I mean, I love the way that it looks. I actually did ride his once. It was a pretty nice get up. It really was.
I test drove a Vulcan in 1988, and I fell in love with the bike. I wanted it right then and there. But unfortunately, I had just gone through a divorce. My credit was for crap, so I couldn't get the bike. Yeah. And of course, then they tried to sell me something smaller, like a 440 Limited or something, which I was like, come on, look at me. Yeah. I'm a little too big for a 440, guys.
Now, I did local bike dealer here in town, Sky Power Sports. They had a Vulcan.
Pasco Power Sports.
Oh, it was past.
They changed. They changed their name
now. It was Sky Power Sports at the time.
Yes.
They had a Vulcan that I was looking at one time also, and it was back whenever I had my Yamaha. I was thinking about upgrading before I bought my Harley, and this was a gorgeous bike. But just like you, my credit was in the shit, and we've all went through it, Great looking bike, great riding bikes. I really enjoy them.
Yes, they're absolutely wonderful. The one I rode was just absolutely like a cloud. Loved the bike. Loved it.
And
now,
then,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, on our number 4, we're already at number 4. We already got to the Indian Challenger. Now, I'm not a huge Indian fan. I do love the looks of them, though. Yes. I think they're gorgeous bikes.
They're very cool.
I've never personally rode one, and that may be the tipping factor. I know a lot of people that are. You're either hardcore Indian or you're hardcore Harley, or, you have that mix of you don't care.
Well, when I was a freshman in high school, so that would have been 1975 or 6, my dad, we always bought new motorcycles every spring. Once a year or every 2 years, my dad would take us to the motorcycle shop. We could pick out a dirt bike, and that was ours for the year. Well, we had a brand new Indian dealership open up. And my dad said, let's go check it out. So I'm looking at this Indian 125 dirt bike. And my dad says, sit on it. Well, he ends up getting it for me. And that turned out to be the best damn motorcycle I ever had as a kid. That outdid my Yamaha YZ80 that I had first before that. This bike was all squared off looking. The gas tank and the seat were all squared in one line. It was uncomfortable, and it rode so for a dirt bike. But damn, if it wasn't a lot of fun, and I love that motorcycle. That thing will always forever be in my brain. I will always take that stupid burnt orange gas tank and the word Indian on the side of it. I used to get so hassled by everybody, all my friends that I rode with, because they had Yamahas and Hondas, and you got an Indian.
I mean, I can honestly say I've never even sat on an Indian.
My wife is currently looking at the Indian Challenger 20 because she's extremely short. She's only 4'10", which makes arguments really hard because I got to get down. I usually just get on my knees.
I'll tell you what, she might like it though. I mean, because if you really look at the Indian Challenger, the one that we've got that made number 4 on our list, I mean, this thing's a powerhouse. I mean, this thing was absolutely incredible. Whenever I've done the research on it, I didn't know that they were liquid cooled. First off,
I wish Harleys were.
Yeah.
Especially down here in Florida.
Yeah, exactly. We went to Daytona. I'll get into that in just a second. But they're liquid cooled engines. But the other really cool thing about this, like I said, it's a huge powerhouse. 122 horsepower. 128 foot-pounds of torque. And it weighs in right at about 839 pounds.
It's light for a big bike.
Yeah. I mean, and like I said, going back to being liquid cooled as opposed to air cooled, we went to Daytona, Daytona Bike Week. God, I think this was back in 16. 17 maybe. I think it was 17. Went to Bike Week, and I was going down Main Street. And you've been to Daytona. You've been to Bike Week. You know,
I've not been to Bike Week. I've been to Daytona.
Okay. Well, getting out there to Bike Week, Daytona, the amount of traffic is absolutely flipping incredible.
Yeah, you can walk across the top of the people sitting in the drive with the road because they're so thick.
Oh my God. I was sitting in traffic for so long. My bike overheated. I had to shut it down. You know, oh God, it was just an everlasting nightmare. But I mean, I would love to have had that air cooled engine. You know, liquid cooled. Sorry. Yeah, I would have loved to have air cooled.
You had air heated.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the thing I don't like about, especially down here in Florida, when I'm stuck in traffic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Harleys kick out that extensive heat on the right side.
Yeah.
Right about your knee or your thigh level, they'll kick out that heat right there. And it's like sometimes when you're sitting, it's 100 degrees outside, you just feel like you're just literally melting.
Yeah.
You know, and I always, and that's especially for my bike, that's when my bike starts to act real goofy. Mm-hmm. When it starts to get really hot and get loose, you can just feel it in the bike. Like now, wintertime here in Florida, my bike runs like it's perfectly tuned for that. I mean, you know, it runs beautifully during that time of the year, but I have a hard time with it in the hot summers. You know, that's why I like, if I'm going to go somewhere in the middle of summer, in the middle of the day, I want to make sure that we're continuing riding. I don't want to do the stop and go bullshit. You know, I want to keep going. Because I stop, I get hot.
Yeah. And then going on with our list, we're going to hit number 3, which another Indian made it. The Indian, what is this? The Indian
Roadmaster.
Roadmaster, that's it. The Roadmaster Limited. Man, you know, you would think, being as it hit number 3, that it would be more powerful than the Challenger. It's not.
What?
No, it's not. Not at all. It only has 92 horsepower and 126 foot-pounds of torque. So it's got a little bit less, but I think it gears more towards that retro look. It is why it made that number 3 on that list.
It does look that way.
Yeah. But I mean, again, the Roadmaster, another Indian, that hit our number 3. Beautiful bike. Beautiful bike.
All right. Cool. So what are we at number 2?
Number two. And I'll give you you got to know what this one is.
It's going to be a Harley.
You know it is. And that's our Road Glide. Now,
not a big Road Glide fan myself.
Yeah. You know, I love the looks of them. And again, it's all about Harley with me. I mean, I'm a huge Harley person. You know,
I am too.
Now I am. I'm not going to say that if you don't ride a Harley, you can't ride with me.
No, I'll ride with anybody. The only people I have problem with is sometimes crotch rocket riders.
Yeah. But I do ride with a couple of them.
Not that they're bad. That they're bad.
No, but I do ride with a couple of them, and they're reasonable. You know, they're not. I don't know how they are outside of riding around me, but you know, whenever they're riding with me,
they're like your kids. When they're around you, they're one way. When there's somebody else, they're somewhere. They're
exactly.
Yeah.
And then our number one. We got hit with number 1, and it is another Harley. It is the Street Glide.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what. This thing, gorgeous. Gorgeous bikes.
Very beautiful.
Yeah.
I have a problem with the funky looking fairing. I just, there's something about that. The beautiful bikes, but
yeah,
I can't get past. Trying to find the picture. Damn it, I can't find it now. Oh, there it is. It's the blue one, right?
This one is. Let's see the picture that I got on the screen here. It's the white one. The white one.
Oh, it's the white one. Okay,
yeah,
hang
the
on.
White one. Here. Yeah.
Okay, that's where I thought I was at.
Yep, that's the white one.
Yeah. All righty.
And it's funny, you thought that was the blue one because that was the Yamaha. That was our number 6.
No way.
Yeah.
Am I that blind?
Well, we have the dark blue Road Glide.
Yeah, okay. I guess you're right. I was looking at it wrong. Oh, my God. I was right. Oh, geez.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you
I thought
what.
she just was growing tired of me, but she's right. I don't look.
But yeah, that Street Glide, I'll tell you what. I mean, it made number one, and I mean, I applaud him.
Yeah, I'm always good with Harley. You know, it's when it comes to the models and the different bikes, then it becomes a personal choice. But for me, I've always been Harley related to some degree. I've always admired their motorcycles. I've always been jealous of guys who've had them before me.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when you've gone to high school with that guy and he's the same age as you. He's on, he's 22 and he's got a freaking Harley-Davidson in his driveway. He's like, how the hell did you do that? You know?
Oh, mommy and daddy bought it for him.
No, he did. He bought it himself.
No shit. Okay, right on.
No, his parents couldn't afford anything. Trust me.
Props.
That's probably why he did it, because he improved his life because he lived a shitty lifestyle with his parents. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you gonna do, right?
Exactly. But I'll tell you what, we're gonna go ahead and take this time, and I do want to thank our main sponsor was Rebel Road Authentic. Rebel Road Authentic, they had custom vinyl decals, t-shirts, and a whole bunch of biker shit that just is very impressive. And you can visit them at rebelroadauthentic.com. And then you're going to see the commercial. I'm going to cut to commercial right now. At this time, we'd like to thank one of our sponsors, Rebel Road Authentic. If you're in need of any custom decals, including motorcycle helmet decals or tank decals, reach out to them at rebelroadauthentic@outlook.com. Or you can visit their website and message them directly, rebelroadauthentic.com. They have the largest selection of fonts available online and other unique one-of-a-kind gifts, personalized t-shirts, drink tumblers, and as a special gift to our listeners, if you use your coupon code RADIO at checkout, you will receive a 15% off discount. Now we're back, and then again, Florida Jim.
Yes,
He's
sir.
got us a sponsor also, his wife, and the candle maker. And tell us a little bit about it, Jim.
Okay, well, it's not my wife. It's a friend of mine. She lives over there in Flagler County, Florida. Her name is Kristen, and she is starting a new venture. And she is Kristabellscandles. This is just one sample of her stuff, and one of the many scents that she has available. These are custom. They come in a little mason jar that, of course, obviously you get to keep because she's not going to get it back from you. She also does 8-ounce candles. This is one that I bought for my wife recently here. This is a nice little beach scenty one. It's called Butt Naked. So just give her a call look the website up. Of course, that's Kristabell's
Is she on Facebook?
Yes, she's on Facebook too.
Awesome.
Kristabell's Candles.
Okay.
You can't miss it. It's KRISTABELL''S Candles. She's on Facebook, and she also has a website. And tell her that I sent you over there. Okay,
Absolutely.
I'm just trying to generate some business for her. I'm not making a dime off of this. Okay, not one penny. Neither is Tony. This is just somebody that I know, and I'm trying to help her out. Small business, trying to help her out. So if you
Absolutely.
can,
We're all about it. We're all about
Order a
helping the
candle.
small person.
That's all you have to do.
That small business person, we're all about helping them out.
That's exactly why.
And we're going to put the link to her Facebook page right down below in our comments section also.
Good,
that we're going to be able to generate her some business. We're going to send her some customers. Make sure that you tell her that Florida Jim and the Rebel Rider Tony P from Kickstands Up Radio sent you over there. Okay.
Just tell her Kickstands Up, and she'll know.
Exactly. We'll even try to talk.
Know.
We'll even try to talk to her, see if she can cut our listeners maybe a little bit of a discount, something.
You never know. She might give you the Florida P. Tony, Florida Jim.
Give her the Rebel Rider Tony P discount.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Hey, And oh God, Florida Jim, I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm all into helping that small business person out. I want to make sure that the small business person, it's the great American lifestyle, man.
Yes.
That small business person,
Well,
they're the ones that are, whenever you buy from them, you're supporting them. You're putting food on their table. And it's all local. You're putting food on their table. You're sending their kids to school with lunches. There's different things that you're doing whenever you buy from small businesses, not big corporations or foreign businesses. Support small business. That's the biggest thing.
She makes all of her own candles herself. They're not pre-made. She makes them to order. So there's a little bit of effort that goes into these candles. It's just not, she orders them and they send them a box and she pulls out of the box and sends it to you.
That's a whole lot of effort.
She does all the work.
That's a whole lot of effort.
But, candle making is not easy.
No. Hey, Jim, I'll tell you what. This is this next thing that I got that I wanted to kind of hit you with. I thought this was absolutely fucking hilarious.
All right,
excuse my language. We're going to go to L.A., California, home of the snowflakes. Okay?
Home of the nuts and berries, yeah.
Can you believe that there's a strip club out in L.A. that unionized? Yes, they unionized.
What is the... What is the minimum union wage for stripping now?
Oh, listen, I'm going to tell you what. I'll tell you what. Whenever I looked this up and whenever I done the research on this, I could not flip and believe it. Just like this sign that I've got here, no justice, no booty. Come on now. Come on. No justice, no booty.
Well, I just want to be the shop steward. Strip
clubs picketing. What the hell are they going to do? Burn their underwear?
They come in and they squirt lube at them. Then throw confetti or something, sparkly shit or whatever.
Listen, I tell you what, I used to work at a strip club. My ex-wife used to be a dancer. I met my ex-wife at the strip club. Not the biggest guy in the world, Jim. No, I'm not, but I used to be a bouncer. And
doesn't mean you have to be big.
Exactly. And I'm telling you what, these strippers, they make some hand over fist cash. They make some money. And with that being said, I mean, to unionize and I'm not sure what the hell that they're trying to gain. Maybe I should have done a little bit more research on this, but I'm not sure what they're trying to gain. I do know that they held protests outside of this strip club, and I think only one strip club in L.A. Is the one that unionized. God, what is the name of it? I'm gonna have to look it up. Hang on just a second.
Well, wait a minute now. Here's an image that's in my head. This is a strip club that's unionized, correct?
Yep.
So what does that mean? That there's going to be like 5 strippers on the floor at one time and only one's going to be stripping?
That's a good point.
Just like the road crews, the unionized road crews, there's 5 guys all holding shovels up. One guy's busting his ass in the hole.
Yep, exactly. Shop steward. It's the Star Garden Topless Dive Bar.
Oh, what a great
Star
name.
Garden Topless Dive Bar.
Dive bar.
I mean, come on. 19 dancers. The way that it was quoted in this news article is 19 eligible dancers eligible are unionized. So I'm guessing it's going to be eligible, you have to be over 18. I don't know.
Do you know what the difference is between an LA strip club and a Wisconsin strip club is? Okay, an LA strip club, you're going to go in there, you're going to think, man, every woman in this place is going to be smoking hot, and usually they are.
Yeah.
Right? Wisconsin strip clubs aren't the same way. Now, I went to a strip club in Wisconsin with a friend of mine one time called the Crossroads because it's literally at a crossroads.
Mm-hmm.
We went there on the horrible Wednesday night. So let's say the best girls weren't there.
Oh no.
We actually sat there and they introduced a girl, and she came out and she was packing some thunder thighs and some baggage on them hips. I mean, like to the point she stopped walking, but they didn't. Okay?
Oh God.
This chick was so fat from the waist down on the thighs and the hips that, you know that thing where they turn upside down and they hold the pole with their leg?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, she did that and her head disappeared.
Oh my God. Ugh.
I mean, it just fell right over, you know. But that's the difference. You find out what the true definition of the word corn-fed means.
I just don't know. I mean, oh.
I told the guy when we left, I said, you should name this place, you should call it the Double Wide.
You know what? I want to get... Okay, strip clubs, if you're listening to this podcast, I want a strip club sponsor. I want a strip club sponsor. Hit
like
me
the Flamingo Room?
Oh, hell yeah. Why not? The Brass Flamingo.
The Brass Flamingo, that's right.
Yeah.
Or what about the new Pussycat Lounge or the Pussycat something? The old Lollipops.
Oh, gosh. There's one here in town. And me and my wife drove by it the other day. And I was looking at it. I've never, ever seen more than 3 cars there at one time. It's very scary. Very sketchy.
It could be a mob front.
Yeah. It really could.
If you ever walk in there and there's a bunch of fat Italian guys sitting in really bad Adidas tracksuits, you know you're in the wrong area.
Or Russians.
Yeah, Russians, yeah. What are you doing here? Get out of the store. We have no strippers.
But yeah, I had to share that. I had to share that because
that's funny.
That was one thing that really got me.
Well, like I said, if they're union, I just want to be their shop steward.
And I
girls got some grievances? Bring them to me. Come on.
Yep.
I got an office right in the back room. Come on, don't worry about it.
All right. Back to the fun part. Back to the fun stuff. I'll tell you what. This is another thing that I found interesting. I was trolling through. I think it was Top Speed News is where I got this article from. And it was talking about Chinese motorcycles, Japanese motorcycles, and so on and so forth.
Yes, I've heard about them.
Yep. And there's this company out of China called Jonway or Yanway or I'm not
Jonway.
Quite. Okay.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
I found this bike, and the first thing I thought of whenever I saw this was the Sportster. It's 100% identical to the Harley Sportster.
It absolutely is. And
good looking bike.
Yeah, they look nice, but I wouldn't trust it.
Yeah. And the price tag, the U.S. price tag on this thing is $3,800.
Yeah. Come on, what are you getting for $3,800, man?
Exactly. What are you gonna get for $3,800? Let's see. They said, what are they gonna get for $3,800? They're gonna get a 398cc V-twin engine with 32 horsepower.
Yeah, that's right. Those things they're like a lawnmower.
Exactly.
You're going to be the slowest, coolest looking dude on the road.
Now, I tell you what, there is a bike out there, and I wish I had a picture of it to be able to put on here so that our viewers and our listeners could see it. It is the Kicker 5150. Now, up to 125cc engine. I want to get one of these things. I want to build one. I want to build a bobber. And that's my next venture is I'm going to build a bobber in my garage, solo seat bobber, just something that I can tool around with and have fun with. So if anybody out there has a 5150 and they're looking to part ways with it, hit me up. Let me know. I'll definitely
I'll have to look those up. I'm not familiar with that.
Man, they're really cool looking. They are a semi automatic transmission. But they also have a available suicide shift.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And that's the thing that really got me with it is, I mean, the way that they look, they're not a huge engine, but I'm going to take the 125 or I think you can get them as small as like a 50cc engine, but I'm going to take that engine off and I want to put a 250 on it. That's it. I don't want anything big. I just want a small V-twin to be able to put in this to make that the power plant.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. And
I gotta look these things up, man. I gotta see what they look like.
They're gorgeous bikes. They are. I'll send you a picture of the one that I'm looking at.
Do that. Because I'm not familiar with what they are, and it sounds like a cool little bike. You had me at Suicide Clutch.
Yeah, and it's the ultimate kicker bobber, and it is the classic kicker bobber because it is the solo seat, 2.5 gallon tank, ape hangers, Springer front end, suicide shift. Man, I'll tell you, it's just the classic. I'll send you a picture of it so you can see it.
Yeah, please do. I want to take a look at that. That sounds intriguing.
Yeah, I'd love to make one and make that the Kickstands Up Radio,
official mascot bike.
Official mascot bike, yeah. Because this
that would be cool. That would be really
sick
cool.
looking. It's sick looking. And then the next thing that I have, really, just a quick tidbit. Harley introduced some new models. Now I don't know if you've had a chance to see them.
Yes, I have.
Now the one, the HD Fast Johnny is what they were called, or what they had dubbed them. The Fast Johnny's good-looking bikes. There's 3 of them in this collection. They are the Street Glide. Let's see, what else was it? The Street Glide. They are also, let's see if I can pull up my notes on this here real quick. I can't find them. But anyhow, they are they're the Street Glide ST, the Road Glide ST, and the Lowrider ST. Those are the 3 that are in the Fast Johnny edition. They're only going to be putting out 2,000 of each of these units. So they're going to be collector's models.
And
they're basing them off of the classic 60s and 70s muscle cars. You got that celestial blue base coat, just an absolutely gorgeous paint job on these things. But those are the 3 models that are in the Fast Johnny edition.
Wonder what those are going to run.
Oh man, I'll tell you. I'd be interested to know that myself. With such a limited number of them.
They're probably going to be a little bit on the outrageous side just because of the limited availability.
Exactly. And speaking of limited availability, they are also going to be releasing the Highway King. This picture right down below here. The Highway King, that's the red and white. I love Harley. These things are, in my opinion, they're just ugly as shit.
Yeah. That's the red and white one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of looks like something Elvis would be riding.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not real fond of that. You're talking about. Oh, never mind. Phone screwed up on me. But
they modeled it after the '68 FLH Electroglide.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's exactly what they did.
That's a cool look and everything, but not as a repop.
No.
That's something that you have to have that's original.
Exactly.
If you bring it back from a rust bucket, but it's the original frame and original parts, that's cool. But I don't like reproduction stuff. I think it's, in some areas, reproduction stuff is not the same quality, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I have a 2018 Peter Frampton reproduction of his famous black guitar that he played on, forever.
Mm-hmm.
His Raven or Phoenix is what he called it. I have a reproduction of that one. I paid almost $2,000 for that guitar. Now, the real one, sold for like $150,000. Yes, it looks like it. It's cool, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, it'd be different if I went and I bought this at a pawn shop and I restored it and I found out later that it was Peter Frampton's guitar. Then I'd be like, yay, I'm a cool guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I love my guitar. Don't get me wrong. It's a very sentimental value guitar because my wife purchased it for me.
Mm-hmm.
And but I will always know in the back of my head that sentimental value that I have for it will never equal to the dollar amount that I think it should be worth.
Exactly. And this one here, the price tag, as you can imagine, I don't know the exact number on it, but it is going to be outrageously priced as well, because they're only making 1,750 of these bikes. It's such an odd number to be released on,
Yeah. My friend Mike, who lives in Holiday, he has a 1980 version of that bike.
Mm-hmm.
And he is always having problems with it.
Yeah.
Always.
I mean, granted, just like you said, it's a cool looking bike. It's that nostalgia.
They're badass.
Yeah, but that nostalgia is not, I don't think it's going to grab who they're wanting it to grab. As far as their
back to the
base.
demographics that I was talking about earlier.
Exactly.
Me and you, we're a dying demographic, and they're still trying to chase that demographic until it dies out.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what they're doing. Harley's playing a dangerous game, in my opinion. They're bringing out all these cool, flashy bikes like the Livewire, and they're trying to appeal to these nimrodded, idiot, woke individuals to sell 1/3 of their products to some woke individual idiots with purple hair. And then they're still trying to keep their base demographic, which is guys like us.
Yep.
And it's a dangerous game. Figure out what part of the field you want to be on, Harley, and stay there.
Exactly. And I think a lot of that is going to come down to their staffing that they have. I think that is what is going to be not their demise, because Harley's not going to go anywhere. But it's really gonna it's really gonna play into their sales.
There has been rumors that I've heard through the grapevine, if you will, that there are Chinese and Japanese companies looking to take Harley-Davidson over, start manufacturing Harleys in Japan or China, wherever it is, and then sending them over to sell them in America.
That'd cut the price of them down for sure.
Well, who knows? They might keep.
Along with that price cut, there's going to be quality cuts as well. That's where it's going to really rely. That's where it's really going to fall. I don't want Harley to come out being like the Honda Goldwings, not being able to do the upgrades that you want to do to it. Because like I said, my 07 out there in my garage right now, I've got the Vance & Hines ground pounders on that son of a bitch, and I'm telling you what, it's as loud as it can be, and I love it.
I do too.
But
I do too.
Not everybody likes that type of thing, and they can change it, but they can't do it on all bikes.
No. And that's the problem when you buy any kind of a motorcycle stock. You have to make sure that if you want that exhaust system, you have to make sure that bike is going to be at the bare minimum. You're going to be able to do slip-ons.
Exactly.
Versus a complete exhaust change out.
Yeah, exactly.
Personally myself, I would prefer to do a complete exhaust change out, especially if I was going with Vance & Hines, because I know how Vance & Hines are.
Yeah.
And they didn't make slip-ons when I had mine. I had the shotguns. They were the low-hanging shotguns.
Yep.
And that was a loud little freaking motorcycle for an 1100. That thing was loud with them on there.
Yeah.
I could set off car alarms in parking lots.
And I'll tell you, with exhaust, the way that it is on some bikes, like I said, I got the Vance & Hines ground pounders on mine. On my Yamaha, I had a 3-inch Cobra slash cut. And those things were friggin' loud for a Yamaha bike. It really was. That's going to be a whole new show all in itself. That exhaust systems.
Just pipes and exhaust systems.
Exactly. Because there's so much you can do with it. There's so much you can do with your bike. And I look forward to that episode because that's something that I have a passion for as well.
Well, I grew up around an uncle who an actual rider.
Mm-hmm.
He was part of the Outlaws, and I remember always hearing the same thing. Loud pipes save lives.
Yep, exactly.
And that's what I've always lived by, and it's actually true. And another thing that I'm going to put on my motorcycle is we have one in our car right now. We have a 150 decibel air horn in our car.
Oh God, yes.
It sounds just like a goddamn Mack truck coming up behind you.
I'd love to get a train horn.
Yeah, I want to put one. They're called moto horns. You can get them online, motohorn.com.
Yeah.
They're about $75 for the kit. I want to put one on my bike because there has been many times since my journeys here in Florida where I've come close to literally taking a dirt nap because they're coming at me.
Yeah.
And the pipes, because Harleys don't have loud horns, so for the pipes, hitting that throttle, wow, and that, that caught their attention.
Yep. Yep.
At the last minute, thank God it caught their attention.
And we're going to go ahead and close out today's show.
Right.
But on that note, I do want to say, Jim, I certainly agree with, that loud pipes save lives. But ladies out there that are watching our show and listening to our show, just know that before you show us them titties, make sure we come to a full and complete stop. That's all that there is to it. Hey,
and remember, a good woman is a woman who flashes motorcycle riders.
Damn straight. But Florida Jim, thank you.
My wife does that.
Thank you very much. I had a great time today.
I did too, man. I love it. It's great.
Jim, I can't wait.
Fantastic time.
You're going to be my forever co-host. Here soon, we're going to be getting our studio up and running where both of us will be able to be in the same studio.
Yes,
but for now,
I like looking at the person I'm talking to.
Yeah, but for now, this is going to have to do until we can get that going. But man, we'll be back at y'all live, here in the next week or two with another new episode. And keep your eyes peeled. Subscribe to our Patreon channel. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. All the major social networks, hit us up. If you want to be on the show, if you have a comment, you got our email right down below. Please shoot us an email. We'd love to hear from you. Jim, you want to add anything else?
No, just everything Tony has told you guys. Please do it. Please call us, interact with us. Let us know what you want to hear us do or what you don't want to hear us do.
Absolutely.
And as far as social media, you can follow me on my YouTube channel at Florida Jim 1018. Florida Jim 1018 is my handle out there. I caught the phone there. I would say that if you're going to watch my channel, just look at the shorts. That's seems to be my thing.
And then what we're going to do, we're going to put links to all of our social media networks.
Okay.
Cool. We're going to put all of that down below in our comments section so that anybody that's watching this on YouTube can click on those links and be able to go right to there, subscribe, follow. It's very important for us because we want to grow this biker community. We're in Florida, both of us are, but we want our reach to be across the United States and potentially one day across the world.
Across the big pond one day, but I'll settle for the States right now.
Exactly. But y'all, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening to us. Just remember, keep the shiny side up, the rubber side down, and the breeze between the knees. Y'all have a good day.
See you guys. Have fun.
Bye-bye.